Welcome to the fifth and final lesson in Session 3 on problem solving. Problem solving with linear equations and inequalities involves identifying the variable, writing an equation, solving the equation, and then checking the reasonableness of our answer. For our first example, a test has 20 questions worth 100 points. The test consists of true-false questions worth 3 points each and multiple choice questions worth 11 points each. How many multiple choice questions are on the test? Notice in this case, first we want to identify the question. We're only looking to identify how many multiple choice questions are on the test. So as we move forward, we need to identify the variables. In this case, we're going to have two variables. We need to identify how many multiple choice questions are on the test and how many true-false questions are on the test. So for this problem, we're going to let T represent the number of true-false questions and M represent the number of multiple choice questions. Next, we need to write the equation, or in this case, a system of equation. There'll be one equation to represent how many, and one equation to represent how much. So the equation to represent how many refers to how many questions we have. There are 20 questions altogether. Some of them are true-false questions, some of them are multiple choice questions. Therefore, the equation we develop is T plus M equals 20. The second equation represents how much. How much is each point worth? True-false questions are assigned a value of 3 points, while multiple choice questions are assigned a value of 11 points. Altogether, the test is worth 100 points. Therefore, the equation that's developed is 3t plus 11m is equal to 100. Now that we've developed a system of equations that accurately represents the question, we can move forward and solve the equation. For this case, elimination or substitution would be appropriate. For this example, we're going to go ahead and use elimination. So using elimination, we're going to eliminate the variable t. In order to do so, we need to multiply the first equation by negative 3. Doing so gives us negative 3t minus 3m is equal to negative 60. Combining the second equation and the first equation after we multiply by negative 3 combines to give us 8m equal to 40, and the variable that contains t gets eliminated. Dividing both sides by 8 gives us a value of m, which is equal to 5. Now, 5 represents our answer. We need to identify how many multiple choice questions are on the test. M represents the number of multiple choice questions on the test. It's a positive value between 0 and 20, so we are going to accept that value as being a reasonable answer. For example 2, you purchase 8 gallons of paint and 3 brushes for $152.50. The next day, you purchase 6 gallons of paint and 2 brushes for $113. How much does each gallon of paint and each brush cost? So notice for this question, we need to answer both parts. We need to identify how much a gallon of paint costs and how much a brush costs. So our two variables that we're going to use are G and B. G to represent the cost of a gallon of paint and B to represent the cost of a brush. Now when we write the equations, we're going to set up one equation for each scenario of purchase. So on our day 1 purchase, we had 8 gallons of paint and 3 brushes, and it cost $152.50. That translates algebraically into 8G plus 3B equals 152.5. For our day 2 purchase, we had 6 gallons of paint and 2 brushes, and it cost $113. So that translates to 6G plus 2B is equal to 113. Now that we've set up a system of equations, we're prepared to solve it. Now, we have a choice. We can use substitution or elimination. I can tell you in this case, elimination is going to be a much easier method to solve for than substitution. So when identifying which variable to eliminate, we want to look at the least common multiple between the coefficients. So the least common multiple between 8 and 6 is 24, while the least common multiple between 3 and 2 is 6. So I'm going to choose to eliminate the variable b due to the smaller least common multiple. So in order to eliminate the variable b, we're going to multiply the first equation by negative 2 and the second equation by 3. Multiplying the first equation by negative 2 gives us negative 16g plus negative 6b is equal to negative 305. Multiplying the second equation by 3 gives us 18g plus 6b is equal to 339. Now we've produced opposite coefficients for the variable b, and when we combine the two equations that we've now produced, the variable b is going to be eliminated. leaving us with 2G is equal to 34, so G is equal to 17. So we've now identified the cost of a gallon of paint at being $17. But we haven't finished. We have to keep going and find out how much a paintbrush costs. So we're going to plug in G equal to 17 into one of the original two equations and solve for B. For our work here, we're going to use the second equation. 6G plus 2B is equal to 113. So in place of G, I'm going to substitute in 17. So that reads 6 times 17 plus 2B is equal to 113. Now as we simplify and solve, we're going to end up identifying the value of B is equal to 4.5, giving us a paintbrush that costs $4.50. So in this scenario, a gallon of paint costs $17 and a paintbrush costs $4.50. So that concludes this lesson. In order to successfully receive credit for completing this lesson, you must successfully complete the quiz, as well as the test. Good luck, and email us if you have any questions.